I'm Phil DeVol. I'm the author of Bridges to Sustainable Communities. If you're concerned about poverty, you don't have to wait for someone else to do something about it. You can act locally. You can create a comprehensive approach to poverty in your community. I want to cover 7 elements of the Bridges initiatives that I think can help you do that. The first element is to listen to people who are in poverty. In other words, engage people in poverty in this initiative. So when you're working with people in poverty, you're actually getting accurate information. They're telling you what the conditions are like. And as they begin to move out of poverty, they tell you what the barriers are. So everything you're doing is relevant if you're listening to and engaging people who are in poverty. So Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By World was written for people to use in groups of 12. There's 16 sessions. People investigate the impact that poverty has on them and their community, and they make plans for themselves. And they need to be supported when they come out. Now, that can give all of us a common language. People are getting Bridges training in the middle class. People in poverty are going through Getting Ahead. So here's an example of the outcomes that come from Getting Ahead. Youngstown State University had a Knowledge Works grant. They put 316 people through Getting Ahead that were low-wage employees in the healthcare system. Of those, 58% went on to go to college or pick up a certificate of some sort, and their full-time employment went from 31% to 76%. So the idea here is that Getting Ahead in and of itself can be helpful, but we really want the voices of those people at the table helping make decisions. The second element is to engage people from all classes. So you want people in middle class, wealth, and poverty working together. A beautiful example of that comes out of Marion, Ohio. In that city, their employment offices at the county and the city had a box on the employment forms that asked about any kind of criminal behavior, any arrests that you'd ever had. And that meant that ex-felons, ex-offenders, by checking that box meant there was no chance they were ever going to get a job. In their community, they have an organization called Marion Matters, and on it is a judge and people that are lawyers and other people in town that are middle-class people. There's wealthy people there, and there are ex-offenders and Getting Ahead graduates. 2 ex-offenders, the judge, and others from Marion Matters went to the city. They had conferences with them and met with them. They talked to Rotary clubs and Kiwanis clubs, and they carried their message about banning the box. In Marion, Ohio, the city officials have finally taken that box off the employment forms, and that means people coming out of prison have a chance of getting jobs. Now, there are some jobs that people can't get, but they were being barred from so many jobs that they could possibly have because of that box. That was all 3 classes working together to solve a policy problem that would impact many people's lives. The third element is our definition of poverty. Our definition is the extent to which you do without resources, and there's 11 resources. Among those, of course, is financial, mental, physical, social, spiritual, and so those 11 resources make up the quality of life. It's not just about money. That means that everybody can do something about poverty. You may not think as an employer that you could do something about poverty.